Have you ever met someone who felt magnetic? They listened deeply, made you feel special, understood you instantly. At first, it felt like a true connection. Later, it felt like confusion, self-doubt, and pain. Today, we're re-exploring why narcissistic behavior feels so charming at first, and how psychology explains this dangerous attraction. This is the explained mind. Narcissism is often misunderstood. It's not just arrogance. It's not confidence. At its core, narcissism is a personality pattern centered on deep insecurity, a fragile self-esteem, and an intense need for validation from others. A narcissistic person doesn't truly love themselves too much. In fact, they often fear not being loved at all. So, they construct a carefully crafted image, an outer shell that appears charming, impressive, and irresistible. This persona isn't who they are, it's who they need the world to believe they are. This defense mechanism protects their vulnerable inner self from feelings of inadequacy. The confidence you see is often a performance designed to win approval and admiration, which they depend on for their sense of worth. This initial charm is not accidental. In the beginning, narcissists are incredibly attentive. They mirror your interests, your values, your dreams. They validate your emotions, making you feel completely seen and understood. Perhaps for the first time, psychology calls this phase idealization. During this time, you're not just liked or appreciated, you're elevated onto a pedestal. They make you feel like the most fascinating, brilliant, and unique person in the world. This intense focus activates dopamine, the brain's reward chemical, creating a powerful feeling of euphoria and pleasure. Your mind begins to associate them with this profound emotional high. It feels like instant, undeniable chemistry. But it's not chemistry, it's a strategy. It's a method to secure your admiration and emotional investment, which they need to feel secure themselves. It's important to know that not all narcissists look or act the same. Their methods can vary. Grandiose narcissists are the classic type you might picture: outwardly confident, dominant, and socially magnetic. They thrive in the spotlight and are often the life of the party, using their charisma to draw people in. Then there are vulnerable narcissists. They might appear sensitive, shy, or even like a victim. Their charm comes from making you feel like a rescuer. They manipulate through emotional appeals, making you feel needed and special for understanding their pain. Finally, there are covert narcissists. Their control is much more subtle. They might seem humble or quiet, but they manipulate through guilt, passive aggression, and making you feel responsible for their feelings. Though their styles are different, the core need remains the same: constant validation and control over how others perceive them. Once they feel your attachment is secure, the charm slowly begins to shift. This change is often so gradual you might not notice it at first. Constant compliments might turn into subtle comparisons with others. The unwavering attention becomes conditional, given only when you meet their needs. The affection that once flowed freely becomes unpredictable, leaving you feeling anxious and uncertain. This creates a powerful psychological hook called intermittent reinforcement, the very same mechanism that makes gambling so addictive. Your brain remembers the intense pleasure of the idealization phase and keeps chasing that feeling. You start to wonder what you did wrong. You blame yourself for the shift. You try harder to win back the person you first met, often shrinking your own needs and emotions in the process. This is how manipulation expertly hides behind the memory of charm. Over time, in a relationship, this dynamic creates a profound imbalance. If your needs, your dreams, and your desires gradually become secondary to theirs. Your emotions are often minimized, dismissed, or even ridiculed. They might tell you you're being too sensitive or overreacting. Eventually, your own reality is questioned, a manipulative tactic known as gaslighting. This pattern leads to deep emotional exhaustion, persistent anxiety, and a slow, painful loss of your own self-identity. You start to forget who you were before the relationship. The connection stops being about mutual support and growth, and revolves entirely around maintaining their fragile self-image, often at your own expense. What hurts most about this experience is not the arguments or the conflict, it's the contrast. The stark difference between the person they were at the very beginning and the person they became later. Your mind gets caught in a loop, constantly replaying the early days and asking, what changed? What did I do to lose that amazing connection? But the difficult truth is that nothing changed. The charm was the mask, and the person you see now was there all along. The idealization phase was never a reflection of you, but a reflection of their need for a source of admiration. If you've ever been drawn in by this kind of charm, it doesn't mean you are naive or foolish, but it means you are human. You responded to what felt like genuine connection and appreciation. The charm worked because it was expertly designed to work on anyone with an open heart. Understanding the psychology behind this doesn't erase the past or the pain, but it does arm you with awareness. And this awareness is what protects your future. You may find it helpful to watch this again later as you gain more distance and clarity. This is the Explained Mind, where psychology meets human behavior. Thanks for joining us. Remember to subscribe for more insights into the mind.